YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Antha Barber coming back at you with another haircut tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be doing a low fade with natural waves on top. So I like to begin each cut by brushing or combing out my client's hair, and I just like to get everything to lay in its natural direction. That way I could get a good clear indication of what needs to take place. Alright, so in this video you are going to see me brushing my client's head a lot, and it's because my client has that type of hair that I have to constantly brush to make sure everything's being blended out evenly. So I'm going to begin this cut by coming in with my BABYLISS Silver FX with the lever fully open, creating my first guideline. Once this guide is created, I will close my lever and begin to blend out the bottom of the guide right back up towards the top of that guide. Meaning I'm going to close my lever and start to blend from the bottom of that guide, slowly working my way up, opening my lever, going right to where I just left off with the lever fully open. Alright, so now that guide was created with the lever open, I'm now going to close my lever and begin to fade up like I just explained to you. So why I do this, I just want to say a huge shout out to everybody that participated in that wifey cut challenge. Faded by Morales, C Got Fades, I Am Caesar, Tank Be Choppin', Big Al and Lisa Marie. It was really dope, man. I had a lot of fun with it. My wife had a lot of fun with it, and I feel like the viewers had a lot of fun with it. That video's got a lot of attention. It's got a lot of feedback and comments, and it was just really dope, and it was fun to be a part of, especially with everything going on. Shout out to anybody that's watching right now that ain't a barber. You're just somebody at home during this lockdown trying to pick up a skill so you could give somebody you love a haircut. If any one of you are watching for that particular reason right now and you happen to get stuck, or anybody, if you're watching and you happen to get stuck at any point during this haircut tutorial, feel free to get active in that comment section below. Myself or somebody that belongs to this community will make sure that we get you past whatever is getting you stuck. Again, I just want to say a huge shout out and appreciation to everybody that participated. I also want to give a huge shout out to my boy Tito Beats. I feel like I haven't said that in a minute. I'm going to make sure to drop his link in the description. Y'all make sure you go check him out for this fire that you hear in your ear. Alright, so now that guide was created, I'm now going to come in with my WAHL #1 guard with the lever fully open, and I'm going to begin to set and create my next guideline. I'm going to give myself about the same amount of space that I gave myself with the previous guide, that way I keep everything consistent with this blend. Once this guide is created with the lever fully open, you'll see that I'll close my lever and I'll begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back up towards the top of that guide. But this time I'm going to keep my lever closed and I'm going to go right up to underneath where I just left off with that lever fully open. And typically that one close tends to leave weight behind, but I'll show you how to remove that in the next step. Alright, so now I'm going to begin to remove that weight that one clothes left behind. So I'm going to use my WAHL half guard, and I'm going to come in with the lever fully open, and I'm going to begin to attack right above the weight that I see. Again, that's right above the weight that I see. And I'm going to use that fade down process, meaning I'm going to close my lever as needed, working my way down until this guide's completely blended out. I'm not sure how noticeable it is through the camera, but my client doesn't have the easiest hair to blend out. It takes a lot of work. So these steps that you're doing now might come a little easier and faster to somebody with a different hair texture. But as far as all the steps and the work, it's all going to be the same. I never change anything up. I follow and trust the same process. Sometimes it just takes a little bit more work than others.
Tito Beats Production.
Alright, so now that that's blended out, I'm going to come in with my WAHL number 2 guard with the lever fully open. And this time, I'm not looking to set in a harsh guideline, meaning when I get towards the top of the guide that I am setting in, I'm going to use that slight flick out motion. That way, if it does set it in, it sets it in softly. That way, it's easier for me to transition from my blend into that length on top. However, once I do clean it up with the lever fully open, just like the previous guides, you're going to see that I'll close my lever and I'll begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back up towards the top of that guide. So I'm going to keep that lever closed and I'm going to go right up to underneath where I just left off with that lever fully open. Alright, I'm sure we could all see that that 2 closed left a lot of weight behind. So I'm going to come in with my WAHL 1.5 guard with the lever fully open, and I'm going to begin to attack right above the weight that I see. Again, that's right above the weight that I see. And I'm going to use that fade down process, meaning I'm going to close my lever as needed, working my way down until this guide's completely blended out. For those of you doing house cuts right now and you don't have that WAHL 1.5 guard, no need to fear. Just go back, put on that WAHL number 1 guard, extend your lever, and attack that weight that you see only using the corner of the blade. You're going to only want to use the corner of your blade to avoid setting in any other guideline.
Another Tito Beats production.
Alright, so before I move on to my next step, I'm noticing some dark spots. So I'm going to go ahead and slap the guard on right below the one that I was just on. So I'm going to come in with my WAHL number 1 guard with the lever fully open. And you're going to see me attacking these dark spots with the corner of my blade. I'll also use the whole blade when it's necessary. And I'll also close my lever as needed, working my way down to blend out any dark spots that I see before I move on to my next step. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and do some clipper over comb to bring this blend into that length on top. My client doesn't want any length on top removed. He just kind of wants the flyaways cleaned up, and he wants his fringe area cleaned up. He doesn't necessarily want a strong lineup. He just wants the overhang on his fringe to be removed. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of all that for him. But before I get to that, I'm going to go ahead and do this clipper over comb to connect that blend into that length on top. So you see, every time I go in with my comb, what I'm looking to do is somewhat create a shape and remove bulk at the same time. So the way you angle your comb when doing clipper over comb is really essential to the haircut that you're looking to give your client. So I'm not looking to round off my client's head, so the position and angling of the comb that I'm choosing is to go straight up. And the reason why I'm choosing that angle is because I want to maintain somewhat of a boxy shape for my client's haircut. Again, I don't want to round it off. However, I do want to remove as much weight as possible and connect that blend into that length on top the best way that I can with this clipper over comb. If for some reason it doesn't clean up as you thought it should or as you wanted it to, you could always drop back down to guards and clean up. You will see that I'm using the number 1 guard with the lever closed with the comb, and essentially that's like a number 2 guard because that comb acts as a guard itself, and then that guard on the clipper obviously acts like a guard. So to me it's equivalent to like a number 2. So if I didn't clean everything up like I would wanted it, like I would have wanted it to, I would jump back in with that number 2 with the lever fully open and begin to attack any weight that I seen. So right here, I'm just applying some product. I want to brush his hair out and get everything to lay down. That way I could attack these flyaways that he's talking about, meaning those little straggly hairs that just kind of randomly pop out here and there. And my client has natural waves on top. It's not something he brushes for or he's working towards. It's just something that he has naturally. And this particular style and cut works for him. So that's exactly what I'm looking to give him.
Beats production.
Alright, so now that I got those flyaways taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and clean up his fringe area. Again, I'm not looking to give my client the sharpest, boxiest lineup. What we're looking to do right here is kind of eliminate that overhang on his fringe area and get it all cleaned up nicely. Alright, so here it is, a look at the final cut. If you got anything useful out this, I ask that you smash that like button. If you're new to my channel, I suggest you stick around. It's only gonna get doper from here. I appreciate y'all. Be blessed and be a blessing. I'm out.